Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a video on how to direct inexperienced models because sometimes it can be really overwhelming for first-time models, and especially if you're not overly experienced in photography yourself, it can be a little bit harder to direct them and to get the shots that you want. So I've got a bit of a list as usual on how to direct them. So I think first off, you just really need to talk to them, be candid. You just want them to relax into the shoot and you don't want them to feel too nervous. Be friendly with them, talk about stuff not even related to photography, just to get to know them a little bit better and help them ease into the shoot a little bit more. If you feel they're looking a little bit too stiff, which a lot of the time first-time models will be, just tell them to relax a little bit, not to think too much about posing, because I think a lot of the time when models first start, they can think too much about the posing and that will make them look more stiff. One of the things I like to get inexperienced models doing actually is to just play with their hair and just kind of like twirl it around and just do different things that way. I think it just helps them look a little bit more relaxed, and usually for the shoot I won't have them with any hairstyles that are too restricting, so nothing up in a bun or anything like that that they can't sort of work with, because I feel like sometimes if they are looking a little bit stiff, that's more obvious if their hair's not sort of around their shoulders, and I think it does look a lot more noticeable. And it's important to get them to not smile in every frame. I think a lot of misconceptions, with models come when they think they have to smile with every shot, and it's not really necessary, especially in fashion photography. So yeah, just get them used to looking away from the camera and not thinking about looking towards the camera every shot. So if you are struggling with posing the models, just maybe get them working with a prop, or get them leaning against something or sitting down even, and that will hopefully help them relax a little bit more if they're maybe in a different pose that isn't so obvious if they're looking a bit stiffer. There seems to be a bit of tension around their mouths. Try and get them to rest their top teeth on their bottom lip, or just ask them to part their lips slightly, because that's a really important factor. I've noticed a lot of newer models tend to just keep their mouths shut or they smile, and either way sometimes it looks like they're quite nervous. So yeah, if there's any tension there, just ask them to kind of part their lips slightly. Okay, be sure to tell the model that you like what they're doing. If they're doing something that you feel looks good in the photograph, definitely let them know that. They want to hear a bit of feedback. Especially, if you're just looking down at your camera all the time and, deleting shots and then sort of just taking more and not saying anything, that's probably going to make them more nervous. So it's important to give some direction to the model, but not too much, because it can cause the model to become very rigid and make them think too much about the posing that they're doing. So you really just want them to kind of move around and do what feels natural for them. So yeah, definitely give the advice to keep moving with every shot, and like they're doing a really slow dance, and just so you can get a variety of poses in the images. And if you don't like something that the model is doing, then maybe show them what it looks like on camera and tell them about something that they can do to improve that, or to improve the pose that they're doing maybe, or the expression, or whatever it is. If their eyes are looking too open or startled, which can sometimes happen, just tell them to just lower their eyelids a little bit, but not so much that they're squinting. So just ever so slightly, just lower them, and maybe just let them know not to look so scared. Putting on some music can always help models relax as well. I know I get requested often to just have some music and playing in the background, so it can actually help them with posing too. If it's their first shoot, maybe keep that in mind when you're planning the actual shoot and planning the location and choosing it, because if you're choosing somewhere that's very public, they're probably going to be more nervous, so maybe try and keep somewhere that there's not going to be a lot of people around. And if the model is young, do not ask them to do anything too risque or something that might make them feel uncomfortable, because obviously that's not good, and it's not going to make them feel comfortable. Maybe also introduce them to model releases and just explain briefly what that involves in signing the release, because obviously if you're just starting out, they may not know what a model release is or what it's supposed to do. If you see potential with the model that you're using, it's always nice to direct them to possible modelling agencies in the area if you know of any, and maybe just give them a few tips on how to build their portfolio too, because that always does help them out. Okay, and last point, and it's a really important one to remember, most new models will not know their best angles yet, so really that is your job to find that out, and it can take a bit of time, so try not to have the shoot too rushed or in a really short period of time. You know, you've got to find their best or most interesting angles, so sometimes that can take a while. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully have some more videos up soon. If you have any requests as usual, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.